Welcome to our latest deep dive. Today we're tackling DeFi 2.0, and you've probably heard some pretty big claims flying around, things like 10xing your yields in 2025. Sounds exciting, maybe a bit hyped. We're here to unpack that. So what is this DeFi 2.0 really about? Is it just a new buzzword?
That's the perfect place to start. And no, it's not just hype, although you always have to be careful with that. DeFi 2.0 is, well, it's a genuine evolution. We're moving beyond the basic lend and borrow protocols. Now it's about blending in things like real-world assets, RWAs, plus using efficient layer 2 networks and, yeah, some really advanced strategies for generating yield.
Okay, so more sophisticated stuff.
Definitely. The potential for higher returns is there. It's real, but and this is crucial, it brings in new layers of complexity, new risks. We absolutely need to talk about those too.
Right. Let's dig into some examples then. Where are we seeing these changes happening? You mentioned bridging traditional finance, like bringing real-world assets onto the blockchain.
Exactly. And a standout protocol here is Ondo Finance. What they're doing is quite groundbreaking, actually. They're taking U.S. Treasuries, standard government bonds and tokenizing them.
Turning them into crypto tokens.
Precisely. Assets like OUSG and USDY. The cool thing is this gives you access to the yield from those treasuries, typically around, say, 5% APY, give or take. But now it's on-chain, accessible globally within the DeFi ecosystem.
So stable real-world yield, but in DeFi.
That's the core idea. Ondo's not just offering yield, it's building a sort of foundational money Lego. It's stable, potentially regulated, a low risk of base. And a big sign of their direction was back in July 2025 when Ondo acquired Oasis Pro.
Oasis Pro. What's the significance there?
It really signals they're serious about building a fully regulated market for tokenized securities. That's a major move.
Okay, that 5% APY from treasuries. It's solid, definitely stable compared to a lot of crypto yields.
Yeah.
But maybe not the 10x people are buzzing about. Is the main value its stability, or is it more like a building block for other things?
Yeah, you nailed it. It's both, really. That 5% isn't going to 10x on its own, obviously, but its stability makes it fantastic collateral. You can use it as a base for potentially riskier, higher yield DeFi strategies, but, there are still hurdles.
Like what?
Well, regulatory clarity is still a bit fuzzy around some of these tokenized assets globally. And ensuring there's enough liquidity, enough buyers and sellers so you can easily trade these tokens, that's key, still developing.
Right, challenges remain. Okay, so moving from stable, traditional assets, let's talk about the more crypto-native side. I heard about protocols where you can actually trade yield itself. That sounds pretty out there.
It does, doesn't it? But it's real. And Pendle is the name to know here. Imagine you have an asset that earns yield over time. Pendle lets you effectively split that asset. You separate the underlying principal from its future yield.
Sever tokens for principal and interest.
Basically, yes. You get a principal token, PT, and a yield token, YT. Now, you can sell that YT today, locking in a fixed rate for yourself up front. Or if you think yields are going up, you could buy YTs from others at a discount, speculating on that future increase.
Okay. So you can make bets specifically on which way yields are going to move.
Exactly. It creates a whole new market. And they took it even further in August 2025 with Boros. That platform lets traders long or short perpetual funding rates. Think betting on the daily cost of holding futures positions.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like tapping into some pretty complex derivatives markets.
It is. Huge markets. And bringing that kind of activity and liquidity into DeFi, that's what pushed Pendle's TVL, the total value locked up to a record, something like $8.3 billion.
So Pendle lets you speculate. If I thought, say, a protocol upgrade was going to boost rewards, I could buy the yield tokens beforehand, hoping they become more valuable.
Precisely. That's the speculative angle. We actually saw examples of traders doing just that, timing upgrades or market shifts to make significant gains on those yield token positions. It's a powerful, if complex, tool.
Okay, let's tie this back. We have Ondo providing a stable base, Pendle letting you trade and speculate on yield itself. How does this connect to that 10x yield idea?
Right. The 10x isn't usually from one single thing. It comes from combining these different pieces, these money Legos. So you might take your Ondo position, that stable 5% yield, maybe use it as collateral somewhere else. Then maybe you add another layer, perhaps providing liquidity on an efficient layer 2 network, or making a targeted bet on Pendle with some capital.
Stacking strategies.
Exactly. Stacking. It's these combinations that can potentially push your overall APY into that 20-50% range, or even higher on a specific successful speculative play like with Pendle Yield tokens. But, and I have to keep saying this, every layer you add increases the potential reward, yes, but also significantly increases the risk and the complexity. It's not free money.
Absolutely critical point. The potential is there, but it's not simple, and it's definitely not risk-free.
Yeah.
So how should people approach this? What are the realistic expectations and, importantly, the dangers?
Yeah, let's ground this. Look, the super bullish view might see some savvy, really active users consistently hitting 50% plus APYs. Possible, maybe for a few. A more realistic base case for many might be stable high single digits to low double digits. Think maybe 8% to 15% APY through careful, slightly more passive strategies.
Okay, still attractive compared to traditional rates.
Very. But then there's the bear case, a major hack, a big regulatory shock that could potentially knock yields right back down, maybe even to TradFi levels like 3-5%.
Yeah.
A real possibility.
Yeah.
So for you, the listener, protecting yourself is paramount. Number one, check the audits, always.
Due diligence.
Non-negotiable? Start small too. Don't ape your life savings into a complex strategy on day one. Test the waters. Diversify. Don't put everything onto one platform or into one type of yield strategy. And stay informed. Things change fast in DeFi. Know what the protocols you use are doing, and be ready to pull back if the risk feels too high.
Sound advice. It really feels like DeFi 2.0 is maturing, offering more powerful tools, but demanding more understanding and caution from users. Due diligence, risk management, they're not optional.
Couldn't agree more. It's an exciting frontier, no doubt. Your capital can potentially work much harder, but knowledge and caution are your best assets here.
So as we wrap up, here's a thought. If these DeFi innovations keep building bridges to traditional finance like we see with Ondo, could DeFi 2.0 eventually start to change what we even consider low-risk yield across the entire global financial system, offering something better, more accessible?
That's a really profound question. Could decentralized systems fundamentally redefine baseline returns and risk? Definitely something to keep pondering as you navigate this rapidly evolving space.